Frank Luntz is a Republican strategist and CBS News contributor. He is with us from Washington. Frank, good morning.
Good morning.
You have talked to several senators about what's next for Trump's Supreme Court nominee. How likely is it that Republicans will resort to this nuclear option?
It's not clear now. Their hope is that they won't need to, that the nominee's background, experience, and his hearings will indicate that he is more than just qualified, that he's truly capable to do the job. And the hope is that this will actually be the one Trump pick that is unifying between Republicans and Democrats. Quite frankly, we've never seen anything like this on Capitol Hill in my 25 years in Washington, D.C., where there is nothing that binds the Republicans and Democrats together, no sense of civility, no sense of commonality. And I expect these protests that you've shown on your air and the disagreements between Republicans and Democrats to actually increase as time goes on.
You think the country is unraveling?
I do think the country's unraveling. I think we've got 1968 all over again, and I'm very concerned about the consequences of that. That you saw in that Berkeley protest, it's not people standing up and speaking out, which is a good thing. When you are willing to participate in the political process and take your time to have your voice heard, that's a positive. But Charlie, when it turns violent, when the language, the tone, when you actually start destroying buildings and attacking people, that's when you know you've gone too far, and there's no sense of self-editing. There's no sense of shame. There's no sense of going too far. And I'm afraid that what you're seeing in Washington is a reflection of these pictures that you're seeing across the country today.
Yes, Frank, what you're saying and what you're seeing is certainly very frightening. We were at a dinner party last night. Everybody was talking about this. Do you see any signs that are encouraging to you? Anything that gives you a silver lining, so to speak?
Only one, which is that Donald Trump is actually trying to do something which we're not used to in American politics, which he is actually keeping his promises. Now, for half of America, that's a horrible thing because they didn't want those promises in the first place. But to have an elected official who says what he means and means what he says, I think that's a positive. The problem is the tone, the tonality that comes out of the White House and comes out of Capitol Hill and from the American people themselves. If you don't know that line to stop, when you go too far, it only encourages others to attack back. And frankly, Gail, nobody's listening right now. And if you're not listening, you're not learning, and you cannot lead.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people who agree with what Donald Trump is doing as well. We cannot forget that. Thank you, Frank.
Correct.
Thank you very much.